Okay, so today we're looking at triangle properties. So, if you have a look at 9.3, you can see that they talk all about the different types of triangles. The triangles can be classified based on two things, the angles and the lengths. These three, acute, right, and obtuse, those are how triangles are classified based on the angles. For the lengths, triangles can be called scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. So what you have to do is measure the angles and the sides, and classify it. Number one is an acute scalene. All three angles are less than 90, and all sides are different lengths. Okay. Number two is a right isosceles, because these two lengths are equal, and it is a right triangle. All right. Now, we don't really focus on this too much. For you guys, I'd like to do questions 1 to 9, okay, because you guys are honors. But the other people, it won't be on your quiz tomorrow. All right. It's just a good thing to review and to know that these are the different types of triangles based on angles as well as their sides. No, it won't be on the quiz tomorrow. Okay. What we're going to focus on, though, is the isosceles and equilaterals. Those two, we can know they're kind of special, and so we're going to focus on those as we find angles within the triangle. What's important is to know that the sum of the interior angles is 180 degrees. So let's write that down. All triangles add up to 180 degrees. I will show you why in a second. So please copy that down. So what I'm going to do while you're copying that down is I'm going to trace the angles. So, if we took this triangle and we cut it into 3 separate pieces, what we get, whoops, this line's disappeared. Oh, there we go. No, it disappeared. Ah. Okay, come on now. Here we go. There we go. So what we're going to do is take these 3 angles and we're going to rotate them. Okay. And we're going to take this angle and we're going to rotate it. And again. And again. There we go. And we're going to take this angle and rotate it as well. So what we're going to do is rotate these angles so that they line up. Now, of course, I didn't use a ruler, but what kind of shape do these 3 angles make? A straight line, 180 degrees. Okay. So you can do that at home as an art project. Any triangle is going to do that. It's going to give you 180 degrees, a straight line with all the 3 angles. Now a square is 360 degrees. If you take a square or a rectangle, how many triangles are inside? 2. That's why it's 360. For a pentagon, how many triangles? 3. So, right, 1, 2, 3, 3 times 180, total of 540. Okay. So same thing with the hexagon and heptagon, you're just adding another triangle, so you're adding another 180 degrees. Don't really need to know that, just wanted to show you because it's so cool. What we're going to be focusing on is given two angles, we can find a third one in the triangle. How would we know that if we know the total is 180? That's right. Subtract. So minus 50 minus 60. Now we talked about using our mental math skills. Probably easier to add those up and subtract from 110. So what's that missing angle? 70 degrees. Okay. So that's going to be a basic classic question that you're going to answer first is what's the third angle? Subtract from 180. And we've done that a little bit when we looked at similar figures. Equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles are special because they have 3 equal angles as well as 3 equal sides. So if we have an equilateral triangle, we can take the total sum, 180, and what will we do to divide into 3 equal parts? Yeah, I just said it, divided by 3. So each angle is going to be 60 degrees. You're going to get a diagram with no numbers on there. And what you're going to have to do is mark down that your triangle is 60 degrees. So the triangle that you're going to see is this. Completely blank. Nothing written on there. And what you're going to have to do is find the question mark. So what we have, this red line is just an extension of the triangle. So the line is just made a little bit longer. And this is going to be the very first question you're going to do when you're going to have to find 2 angles. And you're going to go, oh, what would it be? So the first thing you should do when you have an equilateral triangle is write down 60, 60, and 60. So what will we do to find the question mark? That's right. These 2 here are supplementary. So when you're trying to get out of your triangle, we often give you a supplementary angle where you would subtract to find that's 120 degrees. And that's because it's supplementary to 60 degrees. So to get in and out of your triangle, you often use the supplementary rule. Any questions? Now I also said we're going to focus on the isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangles have 2 equal slant sides. As well, that gives them 2 equal base angles. Okay, so an isosceles triangle, here's a diagram explaining that. We here have 2 equal sides, right here in yellow highlighted. You know they're equal because I used the dashed lines. Okay, so this one has 2 dashed lines. I can use 1, 2, or 3, but that indicates that these sides are equal length. So that's the slant sides of the triangle. Now the sides opposite them the angles opposite are the base angles. Those are also equal because they have the same marks on the angle symbol. Okay. Now here the base is on the bottom. It's not always going to be the case. So if I take this triangle, there's the base, there's the 2 equal sides. However, oh, what happened there? Deleted it. Let me draw it again, sorry. So I have my triangle, there's the slant sides, there's my base. It can be rotated. So I can rotate it right 45, I can rotate it right 90, I can put it upside down. Guess what? The base is now up in the air, but it's still the base. Okay, so you have to identify your slant sides to find your base. Your base can be upside down. Okay, it's not the side that the triangle is sitting on. So next up here we have a question. We're trying to find angle 1 and angle 2 in this diagram. It's an isosceles triangle. What's the value for angle 1? Yeah, it's 20 degrees because it's the base angle. These 2 are identical. Okay, these are both the base angles. What about angle 2 then? How do we find that? The total is 180 of all triangles, minus 20, minus 20, and you're probably really going to think in your head minus 40. What does that equal? 140 degrees. So with isosceles triangles, you're going to have to do this a lot. Okay? Realize that the other one's a base angle, and then find the top. The other question I can give you, is there any questions about that before you go on? So then the other question is when we start with the top angle. So now I give you the top 30 degrees. So what will we do then to figure out the bottom? Nope. Write it down, draw the diagram, show me your work, and then I'll let you respond in a couple minutes, or any minute. Right, so 180 minus 30 equals 150. That's the two base angles. So we divide by 2, and each one is 75 degrees. Clearly my diagram's a bit off. However, that's fine. Okay. All right, any questions? Oops, sorry.